Uh-oh!
Not my most graceful moment. More coming up soon. We were out riding at Devil's Elbow up in the Derbyshire Moors, and this has got some pretty gnarly trails, some pretty rocky, aggressive riding. In fact, it's a lot of fun, but my worst moment here didn't come on the massive boulders or the really gnarly steep terrain. No, it came riding to the trail. In fact, we're there now. Tracks were pretty good. It was broody, it was rocky, but at the same time it was fast. And I've been working on my flat corner speed and cornering at higher speeds. Turns out the one key thing is to not get distracted, because unfortunately I did. Picked up some reasonable speed coming through, and something just catches my eye. Ah. This is what not paying attention does to you. So yes, that happened on the way to the trail. Not ideal, but still fun. My biggest embarrassment here though was when we rode Devil's Elbow itself, the biggest of the two trails, about 1.5 miles in length. I turned my GoPro off at the start and on at the end, so unfortunately I didn't get any footage of Devil's Elbow itself, but I will be going back because it was amazing. It's probably the worst terrain I've ridden to date, with boulders ranging from football-sized to beach ball-sized. The bike was amazing. I was borderline, but I survived. And I didn't come off on the trail, which is the weird part. The super technical terrain, I was fine. Which makes no sense. This, as you can see from this angle, looks quite steep, because it really was. The angle here, maybe about 20 degrees down. It looks a lot flatter in the camera sometimes, but this was really kind of steep. The really bad section was only this portion. It got a lot smoother later on, but it was still pretty fast down there as Mr. Clipton pedals up ahead of me. Keep moving. I had a couple of issues with some of the size of boulders and having to put a foot down. Why do you think I ride flats? The terrain started to smooth out, of course, and we got a really good ride in here. The weather was phenomenal. We had about 30 degrees temperature. It was sunny, it was warm, and one of the biggest things I always try to remember when I'm riding is, of course, I always wear my Camelback. It's a vital piece of kit for riding. Water is important, yes, but isotonic pills to put in Camelbacks are so important, because when the weather is this hot, you're sweating out water. Not just water, but minerals. You need to retain those, because that's what actually keeps your energy up, that's what keeps you hydrated, not just the water. Super important. Pretty big loop here. In fact, I did quite a bit of climbing back to the start of the trails up on the actual roads, and now I realise just how bad full suspension mountain bikes can be on roads. And why I don't want to be a road cyclist. Because that sucks. Sitting there pedalling up a hill with cars screaming past you. Not pleasant. The woods out here in the summer are absolutely gorgeous, and this was probably my first ride of what I would call the summer season. It was dry. The bike didn't need a lot of cleaning afterwards, which was phenomenal. And in fact, this is my first run out with my new brakes. This is what happens when you take your bike in to get the brakes serviced and find out that one of the calipers just does not push fluid. Gets expensive. Yeah, brand new set of brakes. You live and you learn. Regardless, Devil's Elbow is somewhere I'll be definitely coming back to in the future. It's an absolutely gorgeous place to ride, especially in the summer, and I want to try and get footage of the actual run this time. That would be a huge thing for me, but I wanted to make this to show you guys because I thought it's really important that you saw not only my very embarrassing moment hugging a tree, but also that this place is gorgeous and that riding doesn't always have to be about the gnarly. It doesn't always have to be about the wicked jumps, about the terrain. Sometimes just being out in nature makes everything you do so worth it. Makes the environment just feel so alive. It's great for your health. And hey, you're out on your bike. What could be better? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.